I gave the instructions in the dressing room. Remember the instructions in the bucket, okay? Bueno cuate dos. I know,
Marty Denkin, the referee. Alan, I was looking at Lupe Pintor, and he really looks bigger than when we saw him the last time. It's amazing what 6 or 7 pounds will do on a frame 5'7". He really looks strong. I don't know how he will be at 123 and a half. I would imagine right now he weighs 125. Lujan, of course, we're seeing him for the first time tonight. He weighed 124 even as they come out now for the bell to start round 1, scheduled for 10. Nobody's title at stake. Pintor's the only champion in the ring. WBC bantamweight champion, but he's kind of testing the waters, I gather, in the super bantamweight division with a shot at Alfredo Gomez for that title in December. That's on his schedule. Lujan would like to derail that express, though.
Well, Lujan looked very relaxed before the fight. In fact, he went over where the Panama radio was and said hello to the home folks on what was really a telephone on the hookup there. Very confident. He's looked at Pintor in the gym every day and figures he can outbox him. He's done his workouts and stayed and watched Pintor. Unusual for a fighter to do that, but says he's learned something by watching the champion.
Right-hand lead by Lujan scored. Interesting, Candy Maldonado and Pedro Guerrero, 2 of the Dodger best from the Dominican Republic, just a couple of seats away from yours truly, Tom Kelly and Alan Malamed, and both fighters, when the 2 talented Dodger baseball players were introduced, looked in awe at the 2 and gave a big grin and a salute. So there's a great feeling of camaraderie between the athletes in the ring and in baseball. The Latin American countries, they have great affection for one another. Nice exchange there. Pintor.
Remember, Pintor usually a slow starter. In his last fight with Hoon Lee, he got knocked down in the 4th round, came on to win in 11.
Pintor seems to be forcing the action. We're in round 1. It's scheduled for 10. There's no title at stake as they are over the bantamweight limit. Campaigning as super bantams tonight. Pintor is the biggest favorite of the crowd, of course. He being from Mexico, and the crowd predominantly Mexican or Mexican-American in attendance. You can hear him as I speak, shout, Mexico, Mexico.
You don't stick something in Pintor's face, he's going to walk right through you. But sometimes susceptible to a right hand.
Hand by Pintor was caught in the glove by Lujan. Lujan has 14 knockouts in his 25 victories. He's been beaten 6 times. Pintor's very much the veteran as far as fights go. 44-4-1 with 36 knockouts. We'll be back with more of Friday Night Boxing after these words from our local cable system. Well, the first round is in the book. Pintor, Lujan, you're in the corner with Guadalupe Pintor. Cuyo Hernandez, Tony Toros, the people in his corner. He's a champion. Has been ever since he won the title in June of '79 against Carlos Zarate in Las Vegas. What a bloodbath that was, Alan.
And a very disputed decision. Cuyo Hernandez actually managed both fighters. Since then, Zarate was so disgusted with what happened, he's never returned to the ring.
Indeed.
And a young man, too.
And at the same time, there was another campaigner in that division by the name of Alfonso Zamora. And while Zarate was losing to this man, Zamora lost his title to the guy on the other side of the ring, namely Jorge Lujan.
That was a shocker. Lujan, I think, was a 3-to-1 underdog that night.
Well, I think Pintor was an underdog when he took the title from Zarate. Number 2 scheduled for 10. Very cautious first round. How'd you score it, Alan?
Oh, I give it to Lujan by 10-9, but if there was an even round, there was one.
For those of you who have just joined our duo, our broadcasting partner, Alan Malamud, has never seen an even round.
That's It's obvious what they're trying to do here. Pintor is trying to press and smother Lujan. Lujan is looking to counter basically with the right hand, and I'm surprised he hasn't jabbed more though. You got to keep Pintor off with that jab, and there's the right hand.
Yes, he hit him with a little chopping right a moment ago, and then an overhand right. And a left hand by Lujan. Two men exchanging in the corner over there, and the crowd loves the action. Anytime these two stand toe-to-toe, the crowd will roar.
Lujan challenged for the WBA Super Bandy title last time he fought, lost to Sergio Palma in January in Argentina. He's actually working on a 4-fight losing streak, but it's all good fighters, and he's looked good in the gym before this.
Scheduled for 10. Remember, there's no title at stake, and what might very well be at stake is a chance to win the Super Bantamweight title. If Pintor puts away Lujan here tonight, why then he's scheduled for December against Wilfredo Gomez.
Pintor, good body punchers. Most of the Mexican fighters are.
Lujan wild with that right hand lead.
Bit awkward as he moves. Not an easy guy to fight.
A little over a minute remaining here in round number 2. Pintor in the dark blue trunks, trimmed in white. Green and white, Jorge Lujan. Pintor had just a bit of a problem. Well, he kind of waved to the side and making the weight today. Sweating profusely up there in the ring now. He actually had slipped in ahead of the press at the weigh-in, jumped on the scale, found it to be 124 and about a half, and was gone. And most of the press stood around and waited. He was a very late arrival. Came in, stepped down at 123 and a half.
I think all he did was walk around the block a couple times in sweat clothes. 100-degree day in Los Angeles. That's enough to take off a pound.
Good left hand by Pintor, caught Lujan. Has him backed into Pintor has him backed into his own corner over there. Seconds ticking away and bringing us to the end of round number 2. Friday Night Boxing coming to you on the USA Network. With the bell, we'll be right back.
In 1955, a rebel named James
Lujan, he's 27, 5'7". He's the WBA Bantamweight champion. Lost the title in 1980 to Julian Solis.
Well, he was looking to slip punches in round 2. Didn't do too much offensively. Maybe one right hand. I gave the round to Pintor.
All of which unofficially would make the fight even.
Certainly nobody's got a clear edge at this point.
Round number 3, and out they come. This one's scheduled for 10, but no title at stake, despite the fact that Pintor is the WBC Bantamweight title holder. Nice crowd on hand here at the Olympic. Pintor wild with the left as Lujan steps away. Pintor has him in the corner.
I don't think I've ever seen a fight in which Pintor didn't get stronger and more effective as the fight wore on. Very well-conditioned athlete, even though he does have trouble making the weight. Not particularly quick, and there you saw Lujan with a fast combination nailed Pintor.
Again, nice punching by Lujan. Pintor forcing the action. Lujan covering up and then scoring as he counterpunched. 2 minutes remaining here in round 3. Right hand by Pintor. Caught Lujan moving away. Right hand by Lujan. Caught Pintor coming in.
Pintor is the heavier puncher.
Both been wild with punches that looked as though it would have been lights out. Lujan caught Pintor, flush on the cheek.
Lujan's never been knocked out. He's been into some good bangers, including the WBA Bantamweight champion, Jeff Chandler. Chandler's a big guy, 5'7", 5'8", and he banged.
And a chopping right hand by Lujan. Pintor keeps coming on. Scores with a right hand.
Pintor is usually very effective inside. Short chopping blows.
Less than a minute remaining in round number 3, scheduled for 10. Right hand lead by Lujan scores. Again, a right hand lead by Lujan. Another right. A left. Which is Pintor coming in. Right hand by Pintor. Solid punch.
Now there we see how Lujan can take a shot.
Pintor keeps stalking his man. Lujan comes right back with a left-right combination of his own. The seconds ticking away in round number 3. Friday Night Boxing coming to you on the USA Network. We'll be back right after this.
With police clearing the racecourse, Dan Gurney in his Toyota Supra challenged the streets of Long Beach.
Now here's some action from round 3.
I thought this was his best round. Overhand right, nails Lujan. That was flush. As we said, you can tell how well Lujan takes a punch. Most fighters would have gone down from that.
Who'd you score the round for?
Oh, Pintor. I thought Pintor had a good round there. Well, Lujan was game and came back. Pintor, especially late in the round, some good body shots.
This is round 4, scheduled for 10 at the super bantamweight limit. Pintor with a right hand, which Lujan slipped away from.
Lujan tends to be wild with that right. I look for Pintor to counter with the left.
Neither man has been staggered, neither man hurt, neither man marked, neither man down. They come together there, almost a clash of heads as much as anything else. We're in round 4. Great crowd on hand here at the famed Olympic tonight. Hope you're enjoying Friday Night Boxing. Big show coming your way from Atlantic City next Friday night on USA. Crowd predominantly Mexican-American cheering for Pintor. Lujan, of course, from Panama.
Pintor, a markedly improved fighter. He used to take a lot of shots. I remember early in his career, Albert Davila did a job on him at the Forum, won a pretty decisive decision from Pintor. But Pintor won the title, and as many champions do, just that belt has given him a lot of confidence, and he's got a fine manager in Julio Hernandez.
Right hand by Lujan, but he takes a solid left hook to the body thrown by Pintor. Speaking of Albert Davila, who's sometimes called the uncrowned king of the bantams, he's sitting right behind us. He's fought both of these men. In fact, he fought Lujan, and many thought that he beat Lujan, but got a very hometown decision.
Now, actually, it was in New Orleans. It's a neutral site, but I thought it was a bad decision also.
Pintor appears to be the heavier hitter in this one. Those two right hands just did miss, and Lujan scored with his. Lujan brings up an uppercut. Pintor has Lujan almost constantly backing up, backing up. Less than a minute remaining in round 4, scheduled for 10.
Now, nothing faces Lupe Pintor. He's as persistent a fighter as we'll see.
Good right hand by Lujan.
That was the right hand that knocked Pintor down in his last fight.
Seconds ticking away. Remind you, as we come to the end of round 4, we'll be back with more of Friday Night Boxing after these words from our local cable system. Well, we're back in the corner with Lupe Pintor. Get a little beauty shot by our camera down below at ringside. Pretty good fight here, and the crowd enjoys it, of course. They're predominantly in favor of Pintor, the pro-Pintor, you might say.
Very much so, but I thought Lujan late in that round landed 3-4 good right hands and maybe strolled around with those.
Well, if that be the case, then you've got the fight pretty much scored as even, huh?
I do right now at the end of 4. I have the feeling it's going to be Pintor's fight, but Lujan certainly is not an easy opponent.
Indeed he isn't. He's a clever boxer, and as you say, he's been in with some of the best bangers at 118 and 122 pounds and thereabouts, and nobody's put him away.
Now, Pintor's one of these guys that wears you down. He isn't a great one-shot knockout artist.
Round 5. As Pintor and Lujan come out, Marty Denkin is the third man in the ring. Marty's been in with these champions and others throughout his outstanding refereeing career. Pintor in the blue trunks, trimmed in white. Right hand lead by Lujan, right flush on the chin of Pintor, who's undaunted by it, unfazed.
But if you're going to beat Lupe Pintor, I think you do it with the right hand.
Scores with the right hand of his own, sends a shower of water, perspiration, Vaseline. Left hand caught Lujan coming in. Uppercut by Lujan. Pintor missing. 2 minutes remaining here in the 5th round.
Pintor's wanted this fight for a long time. He's wanted to get out of the bantamweight division, find champion, but always had trouble making the weight.
In fact, he relaxed so coming out of the bantamweight division, he had trouble making the stipulated weight of 124.
Low blow by Pintor, and he's warned by referee Marty Denkin.
Minute 30 remaining in round 5. He had to take off a pound or thereabouts prior to the weigh-in today, but he did it. It's a warm night here in Los Angeles, and both men are perspiring profusely. They may have come in at the super bantamweight limit and above at about 125, but I tell you, they'll be at 122 by the time they get out of the ring tonight. Lujan driving Pintor back, and they fall into a clinch. Lupe scoring with the left hand.
Really been a duel of Pintor's left and Lujan's right.
Less than a minute remaining in round 5. Neither man has been jolted or stunned or hurt. Neither man's been down, obviously. Neither man is marked. You get the impression, maybe because we've saw a solid right hand by Lujan, we've seen Pintor much more than we've seen Lujan, Alan, that Pintor just is the tougher puncher, and that this is his fight. We just wait for him to win it. But I don't know if that's going to be the case or not.
Yeah, here's Lujan with all these right hands.
Pintor firing away at the body as he had Lujan on the ropes above us. Next to the body again with the right hand. 15 seconds remaining here in round 5. Pintor scores with the left. Friday Night Boxing coming to you on the USA Network. The bell ends round 5, and we'll be back. We're between rounds. Number 6 scheduled to come up. Scheduled for 10, this battle between the Super Bantams. Former champion Lupe Pintor and the WBC Bantamweight champion Lupe Pintor, and WBA former Bantamweight champion Jorge Lujan. That's Pintor. Jackie McCoy, Benny Giorgino here at ringside. Seem to think Pintor has the edge all the way.
Funny, I think it's a little closer than that, but again, Pintor is the harder hitter. Those body, excuse me, Tom, the body shots may be wearing Lujan down also.
Round number 6 scheduled for 10. That's Pintor in the blue, trimmed in white. Lujan, green, trimmed in white. Left uppercut stunned Lujan, backed him out of that. Left hook missed and thrown by Pintor. And Lujan misses with a right and a left. Pintor just keeps coming straight ahead, doesn't he?
Now he's really working that body.
scores. 2 minutes remaining in round 6. Another right by Lujan and a left followed by Pintor.
Good countering left by Lupe.
Right uppercut by Lujan just did miss the point of the chin. Pintor to the body with the left hand while Lujan was working to the head.
Well, Pintor going to the body trying to slow Lujan down. Lujan without legs isn't going to be too much of a fighter.
Lujan's coming off a string of losses, yet he's acquitted himself very well here tonight. Minute 25 to go. The crowd predominantly Pintor wants Lujan to stand there and slug it out with their man. Jorge caught in the corner, slipped the right hand, and jumped away from a body shot. They're at the middle of the ring now.
Well, Lujan's been pretty much on his bicycle this round.
Minute remaining in round 6. Left and a right by Lujan. Caught Pintor coming in. Pintor with the right hand.
Lujan trying to move away from Pintor's left. Moving clockwise.
Half a minute remaining. Round number 6, scheduled for 10. Neither man down. Good left hand caught Pintor flush on the chin coming in. Lujan fighting, backing up. Does that about as well as anybody I've seen, Alan. Seconds ticking away in round 6. We'll be back with more. Oh, Lujan staggered up against the rope.
Giving him a standing 8 count. He didn't really go down.
There's the bell. That ends round number 7. Excuse me, round number 6. And Pintor, by virtue of a standing 8 count, scored against Lujan, easily a winner in that round.
Well, he was chasing him the whole round, and he caught up with him here at the end. Left hand, there it is. Well, his glove touched the canvas, so I guess that is a legit knockdown, although Denkin could have counted anyway and called it a standing 8 if he had wished.
A left hand sent Lujan staggering to the ring ropes and down on one knee. Lupe Pintor looking over past his managers and trainers, glancing over across the ring to look at Lujan to see how Jorge is doing between rounds. And the bell brings him out for round number 7.
Pintor sensing the knockout.
Right hand lead. He finds the chin of Lujan.
Looks like he wants to end it right here, Tom.
Lujan staggered. Glove on the canvas at the tag end of round 6. Trying to stay away from Pintor now in this, the 7th round.
Could be merely a survival course for Lujan the rest of the way. Pintor throwing the bombs.
Pintor keeps marching in. Lujan with a bit of a desperate look about him now.
And with nothing really to hold Pintor off with.
Left uppercut caught Pintor coming in, but didn't dissuade him much. Minute and a half remaining here in round 7, scheduled for 10.
I think Pintor either cutting his butt or a thumb there.
Yep.
I think a thumb there. He was blinking heavily. Right eye.
Minute 17 to go in the 7th round. Gloves without thumbs going to be in California boxing, I think. Governor Brown very much involved in a bill that would have a new glove design without thumbs. Lujan, a left-right combination. Another right-hand lead by Lujan. Less than a minute remaining here in round 7. Lujan's been successful so far in keeping Pintor off him here in this round. Half a minute remaining in the 7th round.
Pintor taking his time now. Doesn't seem to have that look of urgency that he had earlier in the round.
That left hand did not land. It was caught in the glove. That right hand did land by Lujan. Seconds ticking away. Round 7 in the books. We'll be back with more Friday Night Boxing after these words from our local cable system. Well, a very good 7th round. Lujan, who'd been staggered and dropped for an 8 count, up very quickly at the end of round 6. Put it himself quite well in round 7, Alan.
I thought he did. I thought it was Pintor's round, but Lujan, particularly in the last 30 seconds, was countering with the right hand.
Neither man marked. You're looking at Jorge Lujan. Busy talking in his corner to his handler, his manager.
I think he talks back or with his handlers more than any fighter I've seen. All right, now there he is.
Now he's talking, listening and talking, and the Spanish is hot and heavy. Not a mark on him. Across the way, Pintor's unmarked as well. Cuellar Hernandez. Bell brings him out for round 8. Left-hand lead by Lujan. Scores.
Well, Pintor well ahead on points now.
Behind us, Albert Davila, who has fought both of these men. Was very much interested in how Pintor does moving up into the super bantam division, because I believe the bantamweight ranks unattended, and Albert has got designs on that title. He's campaigned a long time trying to get it, and he's fought the best of the bantams. Some people think he's beaten both these men in the ring right now.
Well, he has beaten Pintor. That was a non-title fight. Lost 2 title bouts with him.
Pintor going to the body. It was a cruncher that he landed in the liver. Lujan.
Lujan is landing the right hand, but doesn't seem to be much power behind it.
Lujan, if our scoring is correct, is behind on points. Pintor is not that difficult to hit. One would think that Lujan would kind of get his offense on track and get after him.
Well, he's basically a boxer, Tom, a counter-puncher. This is the style he's accustomed to.
Minute 30 remaining, round 8.
And then if you get in a slugging match with Pintor, that's not going to do you too much good, I don't think. Well, good left hand by Lujan.
And a right hand as Pintor stepped away from a close encounter. Minute 15 remaining, round 8, scheduled for 10.
Lujan works his way out of the corner nicely. Very well-schooled fighter.
He's a cutie, he's clever. Took a right, landed a right. This is not nearly as well-placed as the one by Pintor.
Very tough man to knock out. It's never been done, in fact.
40 seconds remaining in the 8th round. He was down in the 6th round. His glove touched the canvas after a left hook sent him spinning along the ropes. He took a count of 8, but appeared to be chagrined as much as hurt. Pintor working to the body. Lujan dancing away. Coming to the 15-second mark here in round 8. Lujan scoring with lefts and rights. Friday night. Night Boxing, coming to you on the USA Network. At the bell, we'll be right back.
One way or another.
Tom Kelly and Alan Malamud, you're looking at the WBC Bantamweight champion, Lupe Pintor. He's moving up to the Super Bantam division, fighting at 124 pounds tonight against the former Bantamweight champion, Jorge Lujan, who's been campaigning among the Bantams and Super Bantams now for some time. Lujan was down in the 6th round for just a quick trip to the deck, right back up again, took an 8 count. Actually, his glove touched the canvas as he staggered along the ropes on the far side. Aside from that, neither man has been stunned and neither man has been marked.
But Pintor came out fast in round 9 with a right hand and followed with another.
Well, we're in that area of the fight where Pintor should be getting stronger if he follows what we've seen of recent history.
And Lujan weaker.
2:25 remaining in the 9th round. Lujan is a crafty, clever boxer. Not that big a puncher. Has witnessed only 14 knockouts in his 25 wins. Out of his 44 victories, Pintor has scored 36 knockouts. So durability, tenacity, very much improved boxer from his earlier days and a good puncher, Lupe Pintor.
Almost all of his knockouts late in fights. 8th round or later.
Which really doesn't do the guy you're fighting any big favors, because as the fight goes along, he really has put some bruises on you, and by the time he puts you away, you're ready to go.
Well, of course, we hate to be reminded of it, but this is the ring where Lupe Pintor did knock out Johnny Owen, and Owen died in the hospital a few weeks later.
Never having recovered. Back in '81.
Interesting, after his last fight, Pintor said, which was his first fight at the Olympics and so on, said in the back of his mind he thought he was holding up a little bit.
Understandable enough. Pintor rips a left to the body. Minute remaining here in round 9. Lujan's in green, Pintor in blue. Lujan lands a solid left and a right. But it would appear that Lujan doesn't have the punching power to put Pintor away, Alan.
No, I would doubt that very much.
Good solid left by Lujan, but Pintor comes right back with one of his own. That may be as good a shot as Lujan's landed with that left hand. One punch out of the glove. Left hand lands on Pintor's right cheek. Lujan was moving away with that punch. 20 seconds remaining here in the 9th round.
Good left by Pintor.
Clock ticking away. I'll remind you that Friday Night Boxing coming to you on the USA Network. At the bell, we'll be right back.
I can tell.
Now they come out for the 10th and final round. Touch gloves. Pintor apparently, Pintor saying to Lujan, come on and fight.
Again, I think he thought he was butted and looked very upset.
He was upset.
Now he's going after the knockout. He's getting mean.
Round 10. Lujan was down in the 6th round. A left hook spun him along the ropes. When his glove touched the canvas, Marty Dinkin counted 8. Lujan, who's never been knocked out, much chagrined over it. Here we are in the 10th, and Lujan in the green trunks, backpedaling, trying to hold off a very determined and I guess quite confident Lupe Pintor, who's the WBC Bantamweight champion. So anxious to move up to the next weight division. At first blush, you would think that that's an easy thing to do, but it isn't, of course. Some have done it quite successfully. With others, it has been just a terrible road to go.
described Pintor so far tonight, sound and workmanlike as usual, a little on the unspectacular side there. I thought he had a good chance to knock out Lujan in the 6th and the 7th, and just wasn't able to do it.
Minute 35 remaining here in the 10th. Become dangerously close to smacking heads. A couple of solid body shots hurt Lujan, and another shot to the body in the left. Lujan is in some trouble now. Body shots slowed him down, and now he lands a right and takes some more body punches, throws a right of his own that nailed Pintor coming in, but Lujan doesn't seem to have the punching power to put the bantamweight champion away.
Or really even hurt Pintor.
Minute remaining. Lujan a bit more active here in the closing minute of this round and the fight. Dancing away, stepping in to counter with the right hand.
You got to wonder, maybe Pintor, some of his punching power is not what it was as a bantamweight. Now that he's in against a 124-pounder.
Pintor, the crowd screams. They're predominantly in his corner tonight. Half a minute remaining. 25 seconds. Lujan's never been put away. Pintor looked like he was going to do it. Pintor gets staggered. I think that as much as anything, Alan, but there was a punch thrown. Right hand by Lujan. 10 seconds remaining. And Lujan on his bicycle jabbing, keeping Pintor off. Pintor missing. There's the bell. The fight's over. No love lost between the two, I'm sure. I think Pintor thought that Lujan might have hit him with a thumb a couple of times, might have tried to butt him another time or two. Got a little testy as the fight wore on. We'll see about the decision. We feel it'll be unanimous for Lupe Pintor. I don't know now about Pintor moving up to the super bantam division. What do you think? How did he look to you?
I thought he looked, as I said, pretty fair, not spectacular, though. He'd have an awful lot of trouble against Wilfredo Gomez, that's for sure. But who knows if Pintor wants to go back to the 118 and go through all that trouble again. Lujan, not an easy opponent. He can make you look bad, and at times he did make Lupe Pintor look bad, yet the scoring, I would think, would be decisively in favor of Pintor.
Jimmy Lennon is tabulating or picking up the cards now. Lupe Pintor unmarked. Lujan unmarked, really. Lujan down from a left hand in the 6th round, but spun him on the ropes, and he put his left hand down. The glove touched the canvas, and aside from that, why, neither man had trouble. Pintor hit Lujan with a couple of good body shots in the 10th. Jimmy Lennon has the cards. Here's the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a fine bout, we have a unanimous decision. I will read the point totals. Dr. James Jenkins scores at 97-93 in this unanimous decision. Lou Filippo, 99-91. 97-94, says referee Marty Denkin, all in favor of the winner, El Campeón del Mundo, Lupe Pintor.
Unanimous decision for Pintor, 97-93, 99-91, 97-94. A couple of the judges seeing it a bit closer. One referee and the judge seeing it a bit closer than the other judge, and some fan trying to get into the ring, and he's quickly thrown back out on the apron by the security people. So there's Pintor still.